Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Recently, there has been a big news in the chip industry that has attracted much attention. China's Ministry of Commerce will launch an investigation into low-priced chips from the United States. Today, let's talk about this. Let's focus on the origin of the incident. The domestic chip industry recently reported to the Ministry of Commerce that mature processed chips from the United States are flooding into the Chinese market at low prices. These mature processed chips can be seen everywhere in life: mobile phones, computers, smart homes, and almost all electronic products cannot do without them. But now, the low-price dumping of American chips has brought huge challenges to related domestic industries. Faced with this situation, reporters will naturally not let it go, and have asked the spokesperson of the Ministry of Commerce whether they have received relevant anti-dumping and anti-subsidy investigation applications. The Ministry of Commerce responded very clearly that the domestic chip industry believes that the Biden administration's huge subsidies to the chip industry have given American companies an unfair competitive advantage. American companies have used this to export mature processed chips to China at low prices, which has seriously damaged the legitimate rights and interests of China's domestic industries. Everyone knows that in recent years, the Biden administration has made frequent moves in the chip field, introduced a series of policies, and spent huge amounts of money to subsidize domestic chip companies. With this money as a backing, the cost of U.S. chip companies has been greatly reduced, and they have arbitrarily lowered the price of chips in the global market, especially in the Chinese market. At first glance, it seems that consumers can buy cheaper chip products, but there is a huge crisis behind it. For Chinese chip companies, this is simply adding insult to injury. Originally facing many challenges in technology research and development and market competition, the low-price strategy of U.S. chip companies has forced domestic companies to follow suit in order to maintain their market share. But price cuts mean reduced profits, and with less profit, the funds invested in research and development will also shrink. In the long run, the innovation ability and competitiveness of the domestic chip industry will inevitably be greatly reduced. From the perspective of the overall environment of the international market, this practice of the United States seriously violates the principle of fair competition. The WTO has always been committed to maintaining a fair and free trade environment, but the U.S. government has subsidized its own companies and artificially intervened in the normal operation of the market, which is undoubtedly a blatant violation of the rules of the WTO. If this behavior is not effectively curbed, the development order of the global chip industry will fall into chaos. Looking back at history, it is not the first time that the United States has used similar means in the field of trade. Take the solar energy industry, for example. In the early stages of development, the U.S. government heavily subsidized its own solar energy companies, allowing these companies to dump their products in the international market at low prices. And the solar energy industries of other countries suffered greatly. When other countries' industries were almost suppressed, the United States launched an anti-dumping investigation to further consolidate the market position of its own companies. This time in the chip industry, the United States has repeated its old tricks, through subsidies and low-price dumping, it is likely to be laying out a bigger conspiracy. On the one hand, it wants to seize the Chinese market through low prices and squeeze out Chinese chip companies. On the other hand, it wants to use this to consolidate its absolute control over the global chip industry chain. The United States has always been a thorn in the development of China's chip industry. From technological blockades to trade restrictions, various means have emerged one after another. This low-price dumping is just another dirty trick. In this severe situation, the Ministry of Commerce of China decisively decided to launch an investigation into low-priced chips from the United States. This move is of great significance. It is not only a strong protection for domestic chip companies, but also a firm defense of the principle of fair trade. The investigation agency will conduct a review in strict accordance with relevant Chinese laws and regulations, and follow WTO rules to ensure that the investigation results are fair and objective. This incident also sounded a wake-up call for China. In today's globalized economy, the economies of various countries are interdependent, but the threat of trade protectionism has never disappeared. China's chip industry must accelerate the pace of independent research and development and innovation, and strive to reduce its dependence on foreign technology and products. Only by mastering core technologies and independent intellectual property rights can we gain a firm foothold in the complex and ever-changing international competition. The action of the Chinese Ministry of Commerce is undoubtedly a sharp sword that is decisively revealed in the face of the impact of low-priced chips from the United States. Can this sword hit the key points, break the conspiracy of the United States, and win space for the healthy development of the Chinese chip industry? In short, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce will investigate the dumping of low-priced chips in the United States, because American companies have gained unfair advantages with huge government subsidies, which damages the Chinese chip industry. This move protects domestic companies, defends fair trade, and warns that independent research and development innovation needs to be accelerated.